Good morning, everyone. Well, it's morning here in Alaska, and happy Thursday. I hope that you are having a great week and a great fall too here in Alaska. We're finally getting some colder weather. Not that it's been hot this summer, but getting some colder weather for hunting season. And I'm excited to have you all meet Dr. Laura Thornton. So, Laura, thanks so much for joining us. Tell everyone where you're at geographically and how long have you been in practice?
I am in Rocky River, Ohio, which is a suburb of Cleveland on the west side. And I opened my practice in 2006. So 17 years this month.
Wow, congratulations. And where did you go to Cairo school?
Palmer, Iowa.
Wow.
Graduated 02.
Okay. So we were pretty close. I graduated 97. So we were relatively close age-wise or year-wise when we were both in. So let's have a conversation. All of you, I wish that you could have been a part of this conversation that Dr. and Laura and I started a while ago this morning. We've just been sharing stories, and it's always so fun to get to know boot campers even on a deeper level. When anyone starts, there's a conversation, we get to know each other, and then just continue how the relationship goes. Just like practice members, we learn more and more and more. So, Dr. Laura, thank you so much for sharing with me about your life, and it's exciting to see God's hand in it all along, even before you knew it. So let's jump in about you joined the boot camp about a year ago. What was happening in your life and in your practice that caused you to reach out to me and then ultimately join the boot camp?
I was just, I want to, for lack of a better term, just plodding along. I had actually gotten so busy that all of the systems that I had done pretty much since opening, simple systems, kind of fell by the wayside, and I was just so busy. And then starting in the year before, and since COVID, I kind of
Oop. Hey, Laura, I can't see you. Laura. Laura. Well, I'm not exactly sure where Dr. Laura went. A little bit of tech issues, which seem to be quite common on the internet these days. So there she is. Okay.
Could you see me? I was like, hello, hello.
No.
Okay. Yeah, it just went weird.
Let's go back and start it over again.
Okay.
Of what was happening in your practice and why did you join the boot camp?
Okay. Yes, I had opened my practice with a coach initially. I've had several coaches over the years, and all of the things that I was doing to grow the practice seemed to be working, then. And then I got so busy, I just stopped marketing altogether. Just because I just couldn't do any more than physically I was doing. And I coasted for a couple of years. And then sometime after COVID fell, I started looking at the numbers, and they weren't where they had been, like without even trying. They were a certain range, and it was going below a level for which I was comfortable. And then I'm like, the systems that I used 17 years ago, I'm like, they're not really relative now. Like, this is a whole new thing. And so I really wanted to work with a coach, because in my prior coaching, sometimes it felt good and sometimes it felt really bad. And I wanted to have the sense of community and have things. I really liked that through the boot camp, I didn't have to reinvent the wheel, because I had worked with coaches before who you have an hour consultation and they have all these amazing ideas. but then you've got to go and produce the thing. And I'm like, I don't want to do that because that's really not my wheelhouse, sitting at the computer and developing something. And so that was another thing that drew me in addition to the community to the boot camp was, that things were available for you to tweak. I can tweak stuff, but I can't sit down and do it from scratch. It's not my thing.
Right. And what a waste of time to do so.
It takes me,
right?
So long. I'd work on something for 3 hours, and then my neck and my shoulders and my back. I'm just not a person to sit behind the desk and do all that stuff. There's people for that.
Yeah. Who get joy out of it.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Who love doing that kind of stuff. And so it works out perfectly in boot camp because all of us bring our different talents and then just share with each other. So obviously, like Dr. Laura's talents are, she's been in practice for a really long time and kills it with internal marketing. So let's talk about how you've grown your practice and how you continue to grow your practice.
Well, I tell people that I have made every possible mistake in practice. I truly have. And one thing that I learned kind of early on, because you'll have these gurus tell you, oh, you've got to this and you've got to that. And I'd try it on and I'd be like, gosh, this just doesn't feel right to me. And so I would just shirk it off. And the things that felt right to me were relational and, internal. And I have done ads here and there, which are very expensive, but I can't even imagine how expensive they are now. But really, they don't ever work. The only thing that works for me is that internal type of marketing and really hearing and being present and listening and being a liaison if that's my role. If I can't help you, I can't help you. And I'm not gonna dump you. I'm gonna say, well, maybe you could try this or maybe you could try that. And I think that that's been appreciated over the years because it's all been referral based. It truly has been. And I have people, I know so much about their family because they've been coming in for close to 2 decades now. And
isn't that so awesome?
And then listening is so important, and being authentic, because it's so wonderful if, because people come and go, and when they come back and you remember, what they were going through 10 years ago, 5 years ago, however long ago, and you remember and you follow up, they're like blown away. But it's not something that you try to do. It's just something that you do. It's truly from the heart.
Yes. Just an overflow of the love for other people is what drives you. So why, even after multiple decades, are you so faithful in showing up to the Wednesday calls in the boot camp where there's training and rehearsal and why still show up?
Because I don't know it all. I'm a humble person, and I'm willing to admit that I don't even know what I don't know. And I'm always learning, and I do want to grow. And, where I'm not like a chiropreneur, I'm a chiropractor, but I want to do things that keep it relative and keep it fresh like that. I love the referral gift packet has been amazing. So just things like that. And I never would have thought of anything like that. It's not like I'm a genius or anything. And I love the collective genius of the group.
I love that. And it's always such an encouragement to have you on the Wednesday calls too. One of the things that I say to people when they join the boot camp, as you remember, is, consume and contribute. Don't just come in and consume, because there's something so yummy for all of us when we contribute, when we know that we've had an impact in somebody else's life, right? That we're maybe a catalyst for them to see something new and fresh in their life and to get better results, whether it's for their practice members or for their business. And I love that you're just like this steady voice too of of humble experience. So I just want to publicly thank you for that as well,
Okay.
because it's really beautiful to see. So let me ask you this. Let's pretend a person is watching and they're like, yeah, I get exactly where you're coming from, Laura. That there's some tweaks that I need to make in my business without it blowing up to be this massive thing that now I have, now is kind of like the beginning days of practice, like not wanting to go back to there. And they're like, but the thing is I don't want to have to do a lot more work. What has been your experience in the boot camp about doing practice your way?
You can put on what feels right. There's so much in there. Like, it is a vast vault of information.
Mm.
And it's almost like if you were to take it all on, it would be like taking a sip out of a fire hydrant. You know what I mean? Like, and then
Yeah.
also when I did my first sprint, it felt overwhelming because there was just so much, but I just picked up one thing and just focused on getting good and at that. And then I can layer it in with another thing, because I do tend to get overwhelmed if there's too much stuff, and then it's nothing gets done almost. So I have to really like say,
Yeah.
okay, what are you going to do this time? And just pick
Yeah.
one thing and get good at it. And well, I'm good at spinning plates on the floor when I'm working. I'm not as good at spinning many plates when it comes to this kind of matter, when it comes to keeping the practice kind of cutting edge and not growing in a sense of doubling my practice, which it just isn't interesting to me. But keeping it fat, in a healthy way.
Yeah.
Keeping it,
Yeah.
keeping those
Yeah.
referrals, and not doing, the same things all the time, but doing similar things. But it's just being in practice as long as I have. Stuff has just changed. It's just a different world now. And so I was really drawn to the boot camp for all of the different variety of things that you can do, or not do. You get to choose, because there's so much to choose from in terms of
Yes.
all of the systems and everything. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
And yeah, absolutely. And I love that it really is a buffet.
Yeah,
It's
that's a good way
you
of putting
pick
it.
and choose, and you choose the volume that you want to take. And I've been doing this a long time, 25 years, and I have always been anti cookie cutter, because that's not what ultimate expression of maximum individual potential looks like. That we're all treated the same, that we all do the same thing in our practice, that we stand the same way. We do, like, that's one thing that I love about chiropractic, is just the personal touch of chiropractic, right? And the heart to heart, and there's such intimacy when you're checking someone for subluxation, right? Like my nerve system has to be jiving with your nerve system, I think, in order to have the best adjustment. So that means as chiropractor, as clinician, we better make sure that we got our stuff straight, right? Like that we're tending well to ourselves. I used to say to my practice members, here was what you can expect from me at the table. I get adjusted regularly. I take impeccable care of myself. I have a great spiritual practice. I'm pursuing healthy relationships, and I get good sleep, and all of these things. Like, what can I expect from you at the table?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, this is a collaboration, and I love how our tribe just really embraces personal best, and that no one's in competition. So let's say your practice grew by 10 office visits this week. We're going to cheer just as loud as the person who grew by $100,000 this month. And I love that about our tribe, that there isn't this place to get to universally. There's an experience of life to have because it means something to you.
Right.
So let's say that someone's watching this and they're like, yeah, I need help in my practice, but I just don't know if I'm ready for something where I have to get all geared up again. Do you feel like you have to get all geared up and do all kinds of stuff when you're in the boot camp?
No, I haven't felt that way, but that wouldn't feel good to me either. But I like the accountability, or I call it like a poke. Like you'll reach out and poke and be like, all right, haven't seen you in a couple of weeks. What's going on? So it's like a nice balance, in my opinion. Like you can do as much and getting clear on what you want, because what you want might not be what I want. And that's wonderful.
Right.
You can just goes back to picking what feels right. And
Yeah.
and running with it and making it
Yeah.
work and tweaking it so it fits your goals and your vibe, whatever you want to call it. Does that make sense?
Yes. And we don't have a universal dream. Like we also have docs in the boot camp who, like Dr. Liz, she literally is bringing on 3 associates at one time.
See, that's amazing. That's great for her, but that would feel all wrong to me.
Right.
Yeah.
I love though that we all live in community.
Yes.
Even though we want different things. You know what I mean? I think that's really, to me, it's more of like a family, because like in a family, do you notice that your son and your daughter are different? Right?
So different. I'm like,
so different.
Am I their mother?
Yeah, right? Exactly. So another thing that I just love about our tribe. So here's the moral of the story to all of you who are watching. I'd love to get to know you and see what's happening in your world and what do you want to happen that's not occurring, and is there a way in which that I can help you, whether that's looking at the boot camp or one-on-one coaching. Maybe one of my women's deep dive masterminds are best for you. I don't know, but what I do know is my hand and my heart are out to you, and I'd love to extend this conversation just like Laura and I are having with you. So use the link below to grab a spot on my calendar and let's talk. You can meet great people like Laura. So Laura, as we shut this down, what final words do you want to share with people?
Just that if you're looking for direction, if you're new to practice, or even if you've been in practice for a long time, and I'm a recent empty nester, and you're thinking, now what? Like there's just something in there that you can cater or couture to whatever your dream and your vision is. And also, if you're not sure, there's good guidance in there too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Laura, thank you so much for joining me today. And to all of you who joined us, thank you. God bless you. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. We'll see you again soon. Bye.